And what I do need to learn to do as well is whether to see whether I can stream on TikTok as well, do vertical stream. That is something which I will need to set up. That will be a bit different. Song goes hard. It's proper elevator music. You know what? Maybe I should. Let me. What day is it today? Is it Saturday? Huh. I mean, I could ask around to see if there's anyone to cast with. If I wanted to do like a proper cast. I could do that. That is something within my power. Okay, hello everyone. How's it going? I'm back. The last event I casted was a LAN for high schoolers. Seems legit for me. That's the good stuff right there. Every team that lost had their ADC building IE first. Are you kidding me? Oh, right. That's kind of hilarious. That's so funny. Oh, we have, wait, LCK is still on, right? T1, they were beating DRX last I saw. You got Costream rights? Yes, I do. T1's bot lane 100? Yeah. I mean, that's not surprising. That's not surprising, folks. LCK just finished. Does it have a second series? Oh, no, they don't. They it's on earlier for some reason than LPL. Oh my god, there's so much admin I need to do. Oh, I need to do tax stuff and a bunch. Oh, it's stressful as hell, man. I hate getting back from a holiday and it's just, yeah. Can people let me know when we get into draft as well what audio levels are like? Because I can't stop and like do a sound check. It's hard to do that when I'm live. What teams do I want to do this well this year? I want BLG to do well. I want AL to do well from the LPL. I think that Tabe and Tarzan are two incredibly important minds within the game of League of Legends. They're very, very intelligent players. What else? I want HLE and Genji to do well from and T1. I mean, yeah, I think Damwon are also really interesting as well. Damwon are a very kooky team. They pick whatever the hell they want to, and Fearless is going to be very fun for them. I really want to see Genji, well, HLE and Genji, if they do well, they could start building their own like mini dynasties as well, right? I really want competitive teams to T1 to rise up, so it's not just the T1 era, and like they have like to really work for it. I mean, like T1 succeeding is cool, but it's nice to have yeah. How do you practice player play without a partner? Cast solo queue. You just, it's a very different kind of thing. All right, into draft. So, Fearless draft. So, no one-trick Rengar for Tianjin is a big thing. S-tier picks obviously start to take a bit of a hit. Some things are just kind of perma-banned. What you need to really pay attention to is kind of like subclass of champion which is available. Are there enough tank top laners? Are there enough defensive ADC, stuff like Ezreal or something like that, stuff that can play from range? What happens to lane matchups? Are there certain counters which go on? So right now we have no Orianna. Does that mean that Aurora is better actually? Because Orianna really hurts Aurora. Does that mean that you can now do this very well? Now on the other side, because Aurora's been locked in, maybe you can say, well, it's likely to be in mid lane. It could be in top lane, of course, but do you lock in something like a Vladimir? We've seen a lot of Vladimir into Aurora because Aurora's early laning phase is not the best. Yes, you can still punish Vladimir, but it's not that bad. He survives the early game. That's been something that we've been seeing a bit of within the LPL. Is stuff, however, like Vi and aggressive combos, because Aurora sadly cannot hop away from point and click CC. They are not they're not Fizz. They do not have Fizz E. They're not fizzy. They have no carbonation. Misfortune for Jackal are very, very lane dominant. Now you don't have a Leona to go with the MF, which is choice lane pairing, but you can still do that pretty well with, you know, your other big CC supports. On the other side. Now you need a way onto that MF. Wukong's one of them. You have double dive now. What else have you got in terms of dive? You can go towards... You could just kind of blind pick top lane, go something like Gnar. Because Gnar is dive enough. Does well in lane swaps, decent laning phase. Elise support popping off was earlier in the day from Damwon. We saw a barrel play them. Renekton, also a dive champion, strong in lane swaps. Renekton's kind of the jack of all trades, does kind of everything you want it to do. Other side, what are you comboing up with the Vi? Now Taliyah's being hovered, does do pretty well with that, but it's less target accessibility. It's quite easy to dive on top of a Taliyah as well. You need something that can follow up with the Vi, so you think Ahri or something with long enough range. That'll be something that you can think about going to second round. But I mean, there are enough champions that you can combo up with the Vi. They are even hovered over 3 different mid laners already. So they lock in the Gnar, which is one of the better answers to the Renekton, strong enough flame dancer. With the Elise support conversation happening in chat. Lehens, I'm pretty sure, had it written into his contract that he had to play 1 game of Elise support every split. That was the joke. That was the running joke. Okay, so what are we banning away now? Combos from the Vi. Yep, that's one of them. That's the Vi. That's the Taliyah. Do you ban away the Ahri as well? Ahri's good into all of the champions listed right now. It's very hard to reach the Ahri as a Renekton or a Wukong, and Aurora can struggle with that as well because it's with the Vi. It can be pretty nasty. Cream has also hovered over the LeBlanc, which is of course another powerful thing for him. He has no... I mean, you can also go Sylas. Sylas is pretty strong for Cream here too. Lots of different answers, and they do go towards that as well. Cream is a very specialized Sylas player. However, I mean, for me, pretty easy lock-in of... I think you save support counterpick and you lock in Ahri now. They go towards the Vladimir. Okay, alright, so it's what we mentioned at the start of the draft. Orianna is down. You pick the Aurora because she doesn't get bullied in lane now as hard, but that means that Vladimir can go straight into the Aura. It has been a pick by Knight. It's been a pick by Haichao as well. Haichao was the first to play it in the LPL stage. Easy lock-in. So, support counterpick, last thing for top esports. And you're looking at what kind of the big engaged supports. Now, if you're going for a big engaged support, Braum is typically pretty good into them. You can go something like Rakan as kind of the lane bully style of engaged support. It's the one which tends to do best in lane of the ones with hard engage. Taking the time to think about it. Yeah, the Braum is fine. You have enough engage through Wukong Aurora. It's not point... Actually... It's not point and click engage, and that could be an issue. Because Vladimir only really now has to be worried about... Well, I mean, you don't want to go melee range for Wukong. No, okay. It's... Yeah. I still think that Vladimir, it's on him to mess up. And they go towards the Alistar, which is not good in lane. Braum really destroys the Alistar, but it's absolutely fine in teamfights after. Okay, so big dive comp from WE with Braum to hold the door up in front of MFL and also punish particularly the Alistar in the laning phase. On the other side, very, very good AoE team fighting from MF, Gnar, and Vladimir. Also, does feel like Vladimir can just kind of pop off in terms of individual damage at any point in the game. So yeah, I mean, Cream had a fantastic game one, Kanavi had a fantastic game one, but it really feels like this Vladimir is probably going to be public enemy #1 for the side of W. You cannot allow the Vladimir to get gold. If gold goes onto the Vladimir, I think your game ends, folks. Your game ends. Okay, so let us do this. Okay, cool. Right, I just need to check something real quick as well. I can draw on the screen, I believe. Nice. Cool. Alright, so you will be seeing me drawing a little bit on the screen as we go through this game as well. And we will have some fun with it. And thank you for the follows, by the way. I've seen a couple of follows in there. We're going to be pretty chill today, watching through these games. And, yeah, just enjoying being back in the LPL. Thank you, Katari. I will be periodically checking chats as well. I'm both live on Twitch and YouTube. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy. On to the Rift we go. Have some gyros as well. Oh, we are in W. You know, I know that I don't like talking about the gyros. However, do you know why all of those buildings and camels are in the sky in the skybox there? A little bit of cultural knowledge for you. Xi'an used to be a city called Chang'an back in the day, and it was one of the capital cities of ancient China. And it was where the Silk Road originated from. So the Silk Road, which connected the entire world in terms of trade, you know, went out to Japan, of course, went through over a land route through India into the Middle East, and then over into Europe as well. You know, funnily enough as well, I went to an exhibit on this at a museum in London recently, which is really, really cool. Traveling as it goes all around the world, kind of spreading education on this. The Vikings were a huge part of the Silk Road because they used a lot of the inland kind of rivers to go through Europe. So there have been, like, artifacts from ancient China found in, like, you know, like the Nordics, like Scotland. But yeah, it's because it's the start of the Silk Road. You'll see bits, you know, camels in the skybox when they load into Xi'an. So level 1 invade, you have, we have managed to bring up Ezreal, but Braum's not in place to get the stun down. The early ward was there to stop that, to point out that Kanavi wasn't going towards their top side. This is the thing which Gilius brought up to me ages ago. I see the minions dying there because of the extended play from Tyon and Vampire. Vi doesn't want to fight at level 1 ever. Vi needs to be level 3. Now, the problem is Tyon and Vampire have now committed a lot towards that. Barriers used. Ezreal is a strong level 1 champion, but you've lost some XP already. You are going to lose the level 2 shove. Which is a huge problem, because what you've done is you've stopped Kanavi from getting an easy level 2, level 3, but you've given up your bot lane pressure now. So the initial idea is fine, but now Tianzhen needs to desperately get towards bot lane and punish this bot lane and make the use of this. I don't think they're going to get that much done, though. Jakilov is a very good MF in the laning phase. You are going to have a Wukong at level 3, but I don't think you can do that much here now. Thank you for the kind comments in chat, by the way. I appreciate it. And thank you so much for the sub, Katari. I'll be, yeah. Yeah, it's very good to be back. It feels really cool. Yeah, level 2 hit. Alistar hates playing into Braum. It's not the nicest matchup. But they got the level 2 already, which means that they're okay to kind of collect the wave coming in. They also didn't over-push the wave. They hit the level 2, but they still had the wave pushing into them. They left enough minions alive for that to happen. So they're very happy with that one now. No lane swap, obviously. No lane swap in here, which is kind of important. Vi's going to go over to the side of the map, and you can see that Cube walked down just a spot where Kanavi was. The spot that he wasn't on blue buff, there was a chance that Renekton could go down there and interrupt that. I think the logic from Kanavi is that if he goes onto Wolves, Renekton has to walk so far away from top lane that he loses too much out there, so he can't contest on the Wolves if he went down there. So Kanavi goes from Wolves onto blue, make sure that Renekton doesn't punish him there. That's the extent has to push coming in. Cube is on weak side, so getting trades like this are kind of important. Making sure that 369 can't just, like, easily push in and look towards a easy kind of dive with a aggro reset by hopping out of tower range or something like that. I'll be walking back up towards top side, but no real advantage there now. Has managed to escape the early game with the same amount of farm as Tianjin. Does get himself crab as well. Cream doesn't have to worry about this too much. I don't even think he needed to... Oh, his pool was down. That's why he did it. Yeah. No, that does make sense. With the red buff, I think that does make sense. Make sure the extra water attack doesn't come through. Doesn't lose enough HP that he can't return to the wave and clear it. By popping the OC, he allows himself to clear out the wave. He's fine to reset. He'll be able to get back to the lane as well now. Now, he doesn't have teleport. He's running Flash Ghost. So this is one of the few times you'll see a solo laner without a teleport. Very rare for that to happen. He'll be walking back out onto the map. Bot lane going completely fine for top piece as well. Considering the early levels and how, again, Alistar can really struggle into this. Level 4 to level 3. Got the extra stats. Now, you don't have your cooldowns now, though, and you've just been flashed on as they hit level 4. You thought you had level 4 to level 3. Not necessarily true. Crit Triss will go down. Was that true? Cleanse to stop that. They get out alive. Really good punish coming through. Bit greedy from JackeyLove and Chris to use the full combos. Just as the level 4 was coming up. Tianjin does have flash. If he gets this in time, will be able to kill Jackie, and he'll be able to stop the recall. JackeyLove's going to die into tower here almost certainly. No teleport coming. Yeah, you don't teleport for this. So JackeyLove, sadly, punished for this. Strong laning play from Taeyeon and Vampire. This is what we know the combo can do of the Ezreal and the Braum, especially against the Alistar, but they've now waited a long time. Now, what can happen here? JackeyLove does have flash. Aggro goes onto Vampire, drops it very quickly. Vampire doesn't have flash. I wonder whether Kanavi should have flashed for that knockup onto Vampire. He had no mana. Could have potentially picked up the kill, but thinks twice about it. And back we go. So first blood over to WE. They do get something out of these strong early lanes. All of their lanes are winning, I suppose. Well, no, Renekton and Nora is... Well, it's definitely close enough here. If you see here, the Kaiju fight on the top side. Mega Nara versus the Dominus Renekton. Cube forced to blow that one. 369 gets good value out of that, but yeah, this Ezreal Braum needed to get value in this early game. One kill. It's not the end of the world for top esports. I do think that the bot lane of JackeyLove and Chris will be more useful as the game goes on, but oh, that's an ult coming through from Cream as well. Mainly using that for sustain, actually. Just making sure he can get the heal from that one. Brings up above half HP. Stops Karis from being able to respond to anything across the map. They're going to go towards Grubs on the top side, all the same. That should be 3 out of 3 from the first spawn. No contest coming in from top esports. But they will pick themselves up a dragon on the other side instead. What this also means as well is that Jackie and Chris don't have to play on weak side for this moment, which is pretty important for them. So let's take stock of the map. We do have currently a monkey in the jungle, just making sure that he's taking away some extra farm there, making sure they're keeping up with that one. Wave Crash coming in from 369 up on top side. He will be crashing that and looking to reset. Big thing when you're splitting the map like this is that mid lane starts to get a little bit isolated. And the big thing about Vladimir is that you can push in and you can just press W and walk out to one side of the lane or back or something like that. You're very safe to just kind of walk around the map. And walk out of mid lane, especially when you've got Ghost as well. W and Flash will get you away from a lot of things. This is partly why I really like the Vladimir in the current meta. Jackie, what are you doing there, buddy? Doesn't have Cleanse, does have Flash, but this is the bonus of having the strong side on the bot side. The passive's going to come through from the Born potentially. Vi is on the bot side of the map and does have level 6. You cannot take too hard of trades. You're only looking for a chunk here to make sure that they can't push in and dive, and I think they might have just done that. Is anyone else coming in towards bot lane? No. Vladimir's making the roam down. If you look on the mini-map, level 6 from Kanavi. It was a good trade coming through, punishing JackeyLove from stepping up a little too far, but I don't think it's going to save them. I think potentially they're still dead anyway. Level 6 coming through. Cream doesn't have himself the best angle for this right now. Then he has the ult anyway. Who cares about that one? Turret has heated up, though. The ult's going to get one. Another ult's going to get another. But now Karis has come into play. 2 for 2 in the bot side. A little bit slow from top esports. Cream a little bit slow to the play. Kanavi not quite hitting the play as he'd want to do as well. I guess it turns out that trade coming in from Taeyeon and Vampire gets the most out of that bot side and stops things from being just a clean 2 for none. Did I see the T1 DRX match? Yes, I did. I saw the game 1 of it. I didn't see game 2. I saw that Doran's tank Jace is pretty good. So the big things here, the HP bars on these two just really low already for where it is at this point in the dive, and Cream's just a little bit late to this. I think the E was used. Sorry, the E was blocked by the Braum shield. And then the other thing, of course, is that the turrets being the turrets ramping up so much quicker now is very, very painful for those kind of dives. So it's a decent dive defense from Team WE. However, you've picked a winning lane in the bot side, and it is worth noting that MF is still ahead in terms of gold. So at the end of the day, top esports, they're ahead in a lane matchup, which they probably shouldn't have been. I think that top esports are still okay with this, because you look at the gold advantage, right? It's not that high. It's within touching distance. You have a Vladimir that's going to do better as later into the game as it goes. Yes, does get punched a little bit by the Aurora, but is ahead in terms of gold. And you have an MF, which is very happy too. I mean, as long as MF avoids a Wukong kind of getting onto them very easily, you need to flash away from the first Cyclone or something like that. I think as long as you do that, top esports win the fight. Because what happens is, you know, Wukong will fly in, try and get a big ult off, and then you're going to get punted out by Alistar, or you're going to get hit by Vaiku or something like that. If Wukong does not manage to stop Jacula from ulting, or... Oh, you have to get Cream too, though. Alright. So if you don't hit the carries, pretty sure top esports run away with the fight. I wonder if the Vision Wukong bug will make a difference in this game. Is there a bug with the Vision? I actually don't know about it. Wait, Carrier played Elise as well support? What? Elise Kate? That's kind of fun. Nice. I didn't realize that. I haven't watched that. I was, yeah, I watched the first game, and then I, zoned out. I zoned out, folks. I'll have to watch that one back then. I haven't seen the full part of that game. Maybe we can put on a bit of that in the background when we, yeah, maybe we can put on a little bit of that when we're in break something. Good double up from Jackalov. Get something onto Karas. Really like how top esports were doing this with Tien and Mako as well. But this, I mean, when you're a top tier LPL jungler and support, you expect this. Just every time Kanavi's walking somewhere, he knows he's within range of good backup. Now, big fight, potentially. No 6 scrubs coming through. And what that does mean is that you're not going to get the objective bit from the feats of strength. You need 3 grubs to do that. Smite goes away. Kanavi doesn't have Smite either because he used that on the first one. Tienja's going to be able to pick this one up. Cream hovering on top side. Don't really think he's in a position to do much right now. Waiting on his first item. Which isn't going to be Cosmic Drive, interestingly. Because he's got the... Oh, wait, no. Yeah, no, it's because that goes out of Fiendish, right? Oh, man, I've forgotten bloody item builds. 369 going towards the bot side. Gets himself a push in there. Karis does need to be a little careful. He does not spot Kanavi until now. He does at that point. Kanavi is pretty happy to take this fight now, though, and gets the ult, which follows through the W, which forces the ult away from the Aurora. Now, you don't have the biggest ability to defend this turret now, which does mean you're going to be able to get 369 going away. That one has already... Wait, does he have Demolish? Oh, maybe he doesn't. Huh, weird. Thought he'd have Demolish. I don't see it on cooldown on his hotbar. I see the bone plating, but I don't see that. Cool. And now we have... Oh, Vladimir taking some pretty hard trades here. Really does need, you know, 1-2 items to be more happy in that kind of matchup, but it's fine for now. Oh, he does have Demolish, yeah. Huh. I thought it went on cooldown on your hotbar. Maybe I just never knew that. I do pick Demolish. Why would I never use that? Huh. Well, whatever. Getting good value there. Top esports getting some value out of side lanes. And again, just... I look at all of these champions on Team WE. Renekton is a strong laner. Aurora is meant to be a strong laner as well, even if you don't, like, demolish the Vladimir, and that's why Vladimir's picked into you. You're still meant to be winning the early game, especially with the Ezreal Braum. The fact that top esports are currently slightly ahead in gold. They have a Vladimir who's very happy in a side lane. You have Gnar taking plates. MF and Alistar being completely fine with where they are in the game. Top esports are happy with this game state. So what do you do now as WE? What you really need to do is find a way. They will be getting feats of strength obviously to take this drag. No, I'm wrong. No, I'm wrong. You need to get the 3 objectives. And I was wondering, yes, nope. They are one step closer. Now if they get another objective, they will get towards the feats of strength. Yeah. God, I lost my train of thought. You'll notice that I lose my train of thought a lot. It is ADHD things. Scatterbrain is his specialty. But yeah, what did W do? You need to really capitalize around Atakan. That was what I was going to say eventually. The Atakan is really what you can use to kind of force onto someone like a Baron, and then Baron kind of solves all of your woes at that point. 369 happily pushing in the side, gets himself Mega before the Demolish comes up, which means he can get himself the full value of the Demolish. Full plate coming through, probably gets the second one as well, has himself level 2 ultimates as well if he really wants to take a hard trade on Cube. He can maybe cast that, then hop out a turret. Chooses not to all the same, doesn't want to take any damage from the tower. But we'll walk away with just a little bit of extra gold as the 14-minute mark goes down. Kanavi's on the other side of the map. 369 can't cancel Renekton right now, so that is a worry. Karras does have ult, does have flash. It's hard to kill him straight up. Ult goes down from the Vladimir. Aggro reset, and, I mean, point and click. That's why you pick the Vi into the Aurora as well. Vi Vladimir, very, very strong duo. Deals with Aurora well enough in the early game, and then later on really removes some of the options from it. It's very, very strong. Protobelt from Cream, very good early burst, even if it's not the Cosmic Drive for the consistent DPS. Very good burst. And top esports, making the most of the expanded map. 369 just went into Cube with no rage bar, teleported onto the minion wave, but that's not a great slice or dice. Doesn't mean that 369 will now have the mobility advantage. Does have the Mega Knock coming back up, will take a decent amount of trading back as Cube will waste his ultimate for that one. He won't really manage to get control of that lane in the way that he wanted to. I think he wanted to take a hard trade, get control of that lane, and see where things go after that point, but Cube sadly not able to capitalize. So, 5 minutes till Atakan, Herald up in 40 seconds. Herald could be something that W are looking for as well. They are still in their strongest part of the game. It is worth noting. You have one item on the Wukong. Very strong point for him. Getting up towards 2 items for Ezreal, where he'll come online truly as well, but Triforce is enough for Spike. I am really, really worried that it doesn't get any better for WE. So they are looking for now punch-up team fights around Herald and, well, Atakan mainly, but where they need to kind of fight against the state of the game and find themselves a big objective, which will elongate the timer on this game. The longer this game goes on, the worse it gets for WE. You don't have great engage options, especially not enough to lock down a Vladimir, which can ruin your game. You need to somehow get Flash away from MF to teamfight as well. Herald is going to get started up, top esports. Happy to sit in sidelines, and I think they're actually pretty okay about this. It's the Atakan they need to be worried about. The Herald, they could look to contest, but I don't think they have to overforce if they don't want to. They're getting gold out of side lanes. Cream is going to walk up towards mid lane. Aurora's going to teleport as well, and Tianzhen is completely alone on the Herald. Jackalov just needs to be a little careful. Does have flash, but likely to get that one taken away from him. Not flashing for now. Does have the Bloodthirst to flash away from the True Shot Barrage, which will save some damage. Chris ulting a little bit too late. Oh, it's cancelled now from the MF. False coming through from Aurora. Kanavi isn't going to be able to secure that Herald. Cream is still alive and has a lot of damage, but really feels like top esports find themselves a good entry into the fight, but then don't really know what to do with the back half of it. Good ult from Vampire cancels out MF, and Jackalov flashing over the back of the pit. Not the best positioning for him to continue damage into that fight, because that top esports what they lose one. And they lose the Herald on top of it. Top esports, I don't think they needed to take that fight. I think they got a little bit hyphy after they saw Tianzhen out of position. Couldn't really capitalize on it. However, after all is said and done, W have to reset after that Herald, and they leave themselves on the map. A little unguarded. 369 will take that one down. Very, very happy with the amount of gold that he's receiving. Would have liked more of that gold to be going over to the Vladimir, I suppose, but 369 will not turn that one down as Renekton gets less and less value the less lane lead he has going into the mid and late game. Dragon spawning in a minute. WE will have themselves the feats of strength. You can see that on the top left-hand part of it. In fact, I can show it to you. Why am I not using just drawing thing one? They get themselves the objectives, and they got themselves the first blood as well, so they'll have themselves some nice shiny shoes. Fresh from the cobbler. Just an extra little bonus. We'll say the feats of strength. I don't think the game deciding. You don't want to really int for them, but it's still nice to deny them where you can. And I do see the comment in chat saying maybe that top piece was fought for that Herald to stop the feats of strength coming through. I can understand the logic. The main problem is just not realizing that you need to call it quits. You found a good entry. You couldn't continue past that point. Atakan spawning on the bot side of the map now. We'll be spawning in 2 minutes. Dragon has spawned right now. You can have a world, actually, where you have both Dragon and Atakan spawning at the same time. Crisp does have himself flash and ults, which will be very important for this fight. Teleport back onto the map from the Gnar. Comes in with the Mega Gnar, but we'll just be timing out that one. Hell goes in towards the mid lane. Is it going to kill? It probably will do just after this point. The wave is not going to be enough, I don't think. But actually, an MF ult proves me a liar. Taeyeon would have had to be there to punish that one, and it's a flash forward, trying to punish the Aurora. He tried to finish the turret, will get some damage down, but he's really out of position after that point. It's going to be traded. Vladimir goes down, but the damage is already done. Cream got himself the ultimate. Jackalope is free to hit now. He's just not getting himself the Mega Gnar bar as well. 2 dead for WE. Just for the trade of Cream on the other side for top esports WE. They get themselves a tower, but they can't really defend themselves on the map now. Really is just seeing how much value Desriel can get, but he can't fire Mystic through shots through minions, which does mean the Demolish will come through. Top esports will take themselves a revenge tower and head themselves towards the bottom side of the map, where they can potentially set up some vision for the Atacon coming through, get themselves a reset for a big fight around that. Dragon goes down, and top esports walk away happy customers, I think. Creamy did get caught out. Must have been full CC'd somehow in the way it started. We'll see it in the replay. So, the ultimate comes through from MF, which gets a really good amount of wave clear down. Karis really greeds trying to go towards this. Crisp, I mean, that's fantastic. Gets spotted on the tower, does go invisible, but tower spot that out anyway. And Karis has no HP after this point. And, yeah, I mean, Cream ends up running into melee range for Renexon. That's, not the best, but hey, the ultimate goes down anyway. Gets some damage down. Top pieces walk away. I think largely pretty happy customers with that. They have all 3 other turrets down. They have some dragon stacking onto this rift as well, which man, it's going to be so hard for me to tell the difference between the rifts, because the color of the map used to indicate Infernal. I can see that it's a cloud map now. I know. I can see the little things on the mini map. I just, as I was seeing the color of the map, I was like, oh, it's Infernal Rift. It's not. I know that. Still think that top piece was pretty happy with how things are going. Second item is about to get hit any minute now as well. You're around that point in the game where you're starting to finish off 1.5 to 2 items. I think 2 items on Cream are gonna... I mean, what? Shadow Flame coming in next? Protobelt, Shadow Flame? That's nasty as heck. Because what's gonna happen is... you're gonna have Kanavi or Crisp starting the fight, and they will bring people down to the point where Cream will actually just be one-shotting with, well, the remaining HP, which is not technically a one-shot, 70% shotting, I suppose. That's gone spotted up. But W can't rush it, and this is one of the problems that you can't really rush it without taking a huge amount of damage. It is very high DPS, and you can see already that you have to call themselves off of that one. They do stop top esports from going too far into the side lanes, which might have been the goal, saying, okay, just don't go into the side lanes. We'd like you to not push that out. It does open up Karis with teleport to push out top side, and potentially teleport down to a fight. Cream heading towards top side. Atacon runs back home. Of course, this is going to be the voracious one as well. We are basically not going to see Ruinous Rakan until... Atacon. Oh my god, there are too many names I'm going to mix that one up with. Yeah, until it gets retuned from where it is currently, we're not going to see the the Ruinous one, which gives you the neutral objective bonus, plus also the Blood Roses when it spawns, which are really useful, by the way. It gives you the XP and the adaptive force. It gives like a whole sprig of them. Cube gonna run to Kanavi, who does have 2 items. Vi is pretty good taking 1v1s, but it has gone pretty far. Has Flash, has ult, but also has 4 people heading in towards them. Teleport's coming through. Kanavi gets out scot-free though. Big map movement down from WE. They get themselves onto the Atacon. If they'd been able to take away the jungler, of course they would have been able to deny the smite. Kanavi now on a flank angle. Gets himself a Q over the not over the wall. Face plants into it instead. Not sure what the decision-making process was there. Probably oops. Ult comes out from Taeyeon, doesn't get that much down, but now it is once again W tanking the Atacon. They are going to be taking a decent amount of damage, but it is under half HP. Can they rush it? Can they just try and look for a big play after this point? 369 coming in with full mega. Nah, Flash coming in. Kanavi not able to get much after that point. The shield goes down, but so does the Aurora ult. Kill goes onto Vi because of that. No smite, but Cream is in the backline. Does he have a pull? No, he doesn't. It's already been used. And actually, top esports, they bungle another fight. 3 dead. Just the bot lane alive from top esports, and WE walk away with a big fight. Huge mistake coming in from Cream and Kanavi, first and foremost, really. But Christmas Jackalope not wanting to leave this currently. Clone is just going to get bit of tanking value. WE, they don't have any teleports. This will be a straight 2v4, but the double ups are doing a huge amount of work. The MF value is being absolutely huge. Bloodthirst are keeping them full HP, and in a 2v4, Jaculov and Chris with flashes available doing a big amount of work. This is not low enough HP for them to rush it down, and they're tanking ever more and more damage. Jackie is completely fine to go up towards it. The shield goes up. Yes, there is a cleanse, but I think they're completely happy to just walk away without one. Vampire trying to get some threat down, but not able to get nearly enough value. This is taking an absolute age to get down, and the Atakan continues to get himself more and more HP. Bloodthirst are coming up. It's another double up coming through, but I think the Ezreal ult might have just solved it for them. I don't think they're going to be able to really get enough after this point. Konami comes in, but doesn't get the smite steal. Oh, so close. There's a kill coming down, and Jaculov will fall. This time it's going to be an extra kill coming through. Jaculov really tries to get himself something more and won't be able to get the most of it. You can see the GAs available for WE, and they get themselves the Atakan fight. What were we saying in that last game? So anything can get turned around with a good enough Atakan fight. We were saying this in the early game too. Even though Top Esports were very happy with where they'd found themselves in the game state, really does just feel like Atakan, a good enough Atakan fight can bail you out of a lot. So what happens here? This is the start of the fight. Flash comes forward, doesn't manage to get himself quite within range for the ultimate. Mistake from Kanavi, a rare mistake as well. Goes on to the Cyclone as well, and then he ults the cloned Wukong. Well, folks, not much to say about that one. Right, Kanavi giveth, Kanavi taketh away. This Ezreal ult from base is absolutely crucial. Takes off a good, 400 health from both the bot laners of Top Esports who are still claiming that one. What happens here? Comes straight in. Smite goes down, and yeah, I mean, sure, there's a death already. Oh, there wasn't even a smite because Wukong died before it came through. Doesn't get the smite. I did somehow miss the full context of that one because my eyes are bad. Now suddenly WE, they feel like they can group up and throw their weight around just a little bit. So what can WE get with this now? Even a gold, which does mean that, okay, so this is looking to get away some of those GAs. Jaculov getting jumped on by Karis. Can he finish the kill, though? He will be with another cooldown. Bloodthirst is good, but is that enough? He will be able to take away the Atakan GA, but not before he hits the ground. So it's actually going to be 2 clean kills for WE, while only just removing 2 of the GAs themselves. And of course, Tianzhen, who died before the Atakan in the last fight, did still have the GA available. Now, suddenly 369 will have to head towards the Baron, potentially, to see if he can work his way into a big fight there. WE, they managed to really recover this gamescape through the Atakan. The Atakan is so powerful. Cream has himself ult. Doesn't have himself any of his summoners, though. Kanavi coming through. Well, maybe look for another smite steal on top of this. GA is still available for 2 of the members here for WE towards the top side. Teleport in from 369. Karis gets a great chunk onto Cream, and ult comes through, and it will be able to take down the Braum, who is out of position. Baron goes down all the same, though. It is just a support kill for a Baron. You have no Atakan now. Cream coming forwards. How much more can he get? Cube, it dies before he can get himself anything more. Cream walking forwards yet again, but Teod is as well. Gets so much damage from this power spike of the Ezreal. Can he jump over the wall? Will he dodge the right direction? Yes! He'll get himself the blue buff, and he'll find himself an hour after that as well. WE, once again, finding a way to force the tempo of this game forwards. Really finding good opportunities and objectives on top of that. Okay, so WE, huge item spikes for them. Karis, 7 kills on the Aurora. The teleport did come through, but I mean, you're still working around some really good GAs coming through. You can see that the GAs time out just as they are going towards this Vampire. Yeah, it doesn't really get much there, but what else can you do? Right? You can't stand in the Baron Pit really getting that much done. It does mean that Saiyan doesn't have to worry about big combos anymore. You know, the cooldown's gone. Cream gets huge value down, but he also then walks into Karis and Saiyan beyond that point. Huge damage going through. Jesus Christ, the damage. Aurora Ezreal. Big DPS. Same just said hitting the blue buff for some cooldown reduction. Not really sure what he's doing with that one key. Maybe thinking you still have flash, but... Cream's Vlad is so mid. Well, I'd hope so. He is the mid laner for Top Esports. It's funny how that works. I think that Vladimir is very, very strong if you watch Knight's game the other day. Knight versus EDG. Completely carried the hell out of that game. If you don't have good enough CC for the Vladimir, the Vladimir wins almost every late game team fight. Now, what's happening now is Cream is misjudging his team fight, so he is walking into Wukong melee. He's walking into Renekton melee. He needs to stay away from the Renekton and the Wukong if at all possible, and just deal with the others. You can deal actually with the Braum. You can absolutely deal with everyone else. Feels like Cream's approach into the fights has been quite poor, though, all the same. So, for me, this is a hate the player, not the champion kind of situation. Knavi now looking at a team which is significantly more powerful than they were a few minutes ago. Karis just needs to be a little bit careful, but he's very powerful. Look, he can look after himself. He's a all grown-up bunny. He can make his way through this cruel, harsh world. Got himself his myxomatosis vaccines. Wait, do you get a vaccine for that? I don't even know if that's a... Is that a thing you can vaccinate against? I don't even know if it is. I know it's a disease that bunnies get, and it's bad for them. Anyway, tangent aside. Back into the mid lane. Baron buff still up for another 30 seconds. Look, I will say top esports are still not feeling too bad about this game. I think if Cream gets himself one good team fight, especially on the cusp of what's it call it, death cap completion, you're very, very happy. You can give up a dragon or two as well. Only one dragon locked in for the side of WE. 3 items for Jaculov, who is very strong. However, 2k advantage out of today. Very, very powerful on the Ezreal in the same way. And can just jump at the 369 like that. It would help if you hit your skill shots though, mate. Just tends to be where a lot of your damage comes in from. You can see that they are afraid of the flank. The blue trinket comes out, but doesn't quite spot out Knavi. Tinja's now going to body check this one. And will not spot the culprit. 369 on one angle, Knavi on another. Does have the flash. Can Knavi get himself the angle that he wants? Cream gets himself a little bit of damage down. Gets himself the Guardian out of Vampire as well, but not able to achieve that much. Dragon is up. Knavi could hop over the back of the pit and get himself into the river if he so wished. Good flanking slash rear coverage of vision for W at this point. Did they spot Knavi? Now Knavi does use himself the smite, getting himself a little bit of golden XP while he can, but doesn't get that much out of this. Crisp has flash, has ult as well, but doesn't have level 2 ultimate. Be nice to get that one. Teleport coming in. Gnar coming in. No Gnar bar. And I think WE know this one. What is going to happen? How valuable is the door going to be? Tien. Knavi's now spotted out. Flashes over. Massive ultimate from the Amber, which is not spotted out. But I think the Aurora ultimate on the other side might just be enough. All the same. Cube holding open the front door, but Jaculov is completely untouched. Yeah, it has been enough from top esports. The flank will get enough done. And the Mega Gnar will finish off another kill. WE, for all the rear vision in the world, cannot get themselves a secure entry in towards this fight. Taeyon trying to get some extra damage down and get some decent amount, but sadly it's onto the guy that can heal 900 damage every 10 seconds or so when that Crimson Rush comes through. Top esports will have earned themselves the Cloud Soul. Unless Karis has anything more to say about it. What is he going to do? Fat load of nothing. Top esports walk away with the Soul. Knavi got himself over the wall at the right timing. Top esports walk away with a Soul back on the board. Hey Foxy, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. So, that fight should probably fund Cream towards the death cap. Yes, shiny hat now bought in. Knavi, fantastic stuff. Because he has a load of different options here, right? He can head over here for a steal. He chooses to go towards the back line as well. And this is really important, because it means that Tianjin has to use his W or his E over the wall. He's not in position to get towards Vladimir. Vladimir gets himself a free team fight towards back part of this. He gets himself away from the Renekton. Suddenly, Cream does actually have himself a really good fight. And that Cream Knavi get themselves the fight that they were looking for. And now I don't really care now that you've got a 2,000 gold advantage towards the Aurora. Vladimir's Vladimir. Vladimir is late game. There is something about that. 369. Oh, bloody hell, he's so strong as well. 3,000 gold. You know, this is the thing about solo casting, because I have to pay attention to so much more what's on screen. I sometimes forget some of the details. This one, I'm not going to forget those. Jaculov had Flash, had Cleanse, chooses to use neither of them, and dies as Baron is spawning. Bad place to be walking. You have some wards around the Baron, but not nearly enough to be walking up like that. That is a bit of a shocker there from Jaculov with both summoners available. Now, what do top esports do now? Cream on the top side, maybe get something done. There's a bit of a split team composition from W right now. I really feel like maybe that would have been the moment for Cream to do something. Can't get that much done, though. 30 seconds for Jaculov. This should now be an uncontested Baron. Yeah, big mistake. Have both summoners available. Can't use either of them. So, that's going down. 369, no Mega Gnar. Does have himself Hull Breaker, which makes him more tanky when he's in Well, it just makes it more tanky in general, really. Baron's going to go down. No, well, there is a smite available, but Kanavi's nowhere near to use it. Chooses to go back. Elder Nero Dragon now in 4 minutes. Does mean that the Baron is not going to be overlapping with the Elder. W can't really delay this one, though. Typically, you'd like to have them overlapping. So top easels, what's the plan now? Haven't really been able to use the side lane advantage. Lost some vision control, and W get themselves a really good pick there. Very disrespectful from Jackulov, but still. This is really good for WE. You know, WE are a team which I was wondering whether they could be one of the worst teams within the LPL. Very good play right now, though, to punish this. As Jackulov walks up and just... There's an unwanted bush there, mate. Can't walk up like that. Had flash, had cleanse, chooses to use neither. Dies for the attempt. GA built up for Kanavi. Could be huge for the next fight. Man, it's almost like having an Atakan in your inventory. Imagine how OP that is. One use only GA for the 5-minute cooldown. Man. Making objective into items now. Never thought I'd see the day. Karis is so ungodly strong. Level 18. Ridiculous amount of items. Jackulov down 2 levels even on his lane opponent. 3 levels on them solo laners of WE. I suppose there is a bonus now in saying that, well, top esports, they can catch up in XP because WE have caps out on that one. Would really like to see, well, yeah. Well, you can't really tie Vampire to a lane to get him more XP too much. He wants to be wandering around to get vision down. The vision control has been good. It's been very valuable this game. Top esports can't defend this one, and they're also not in a position to push anything else out. The Baron is, of course, helping the push. 5 grabs making it even more deadly. So, top esports, what is the plan? You do have a teleport for 369. You do have good damage onto Cream, though. Karis, you can see the amount of burst damage coming through. Vampire walking up using the shield to buy some extra auto attacks onto the tower. Good value out of the Braum kit there. Kanavi threatening something. No real angles available, though. No flanking wards. I suppose W don't know if there's a hidden ward somewhere or other. Chris does have himself a brief angle here, but not really going to be able to do that much about it. 369 pushing Renekton out of the play. Tower will fall. I think the inhibitor may do after that point to you. W, can they get this safely without over pushing? Looks like nothing really able to get freaking hell, that's a lot of damage there from the Ezreal. Cream looking to get some extra sustain off the wave. We'll be able to do so as well. 369, remember he has that Hull Breaker. Can buff up the cannon minion. That's the big thing about the Hull Breaker now. It's less about, you know, the individual resist like it was in the past. It's mainly about buffing up those minions. And it does mean that Renekton can't clear the wave nearly as effectively. It means that sometimes maybe you have to put Karis into that lane as well. I do think that 369 can even beat Karis in a 1v1 though. They're both very, very powerful. So what is 369 going to do? It's not easier for him to get himself a clean side lane because WE, they're the ones which are actually pushing up more effectively now. This Ezreal almost at full build. You know, as we were saying, was 2 levels up on MF as well. He can just kind of control wherever the hell the push is. And this has been a good game. You know, I thought this would be one of the most one-sided matchups within the group stage so far. Oh, poo, I forgot to turn my adverts off. So, sorry about that, Twitch chat. Oopsies. Hope the game doesn't end in the last minute and 30. If you're on YouTube, of course, you don't have to worry about such trivial things, or if you have a Twitch Prime or something like that. 369 looking to play through the side lanes, but does not know there is a Wukong there. It does have Mega Gnar, though. It's Cube. Not Wukong. It's the other one. Other Animal Man. The Kaiju lane opponent Cube, level 18. 369 does have himself a Mega. I don't know if they can cleanly kill him with Mega Gnar. But, we will soon see. Ult coming through for Karis. I mean, that is a very tanky Gnar. And Karis just says, nope, I'm out. 369 says, okay, cool, that's your ultimate. Fine. Cream nags himself a free chance to push out the other side. We might be going into a bit of a long haul now, folks. I think this is long haul. 369 looking to be safe in a side lane, which W can't really ignore because the Hull Breaker makes it hard for Renekton to clear out those waves. Doesn't mean that Cream can get a safe lane on the other side too. It means you can just catch up the parity in some important roles. You can get some extra XP and some extra gold. Cream now at level 17, that helps there too. Chris doesn't really want to blow his ult if you can help it. Good damage coming through. Of course, Elder Dragon now up. Will that change the equation? Well, of course it would. This is game-ending objectives. What am I talking about, Alex? Kanavi hops over the wall, is spotted, and they don't know the ward is there. They do now, and Kanavi has lost half his HP. Nah, on the top side, buffing up with the Hull Breaker onto that cannon minion. It does give you a lot of this value. This is the value of the Hull Breaker. It gives you really good ability to warp the game set. And Vampire was wondering there whether he'd been caught a little bit too far out. There wasn't any damage to help him out. I think if MF was in a closer position, they could have gone for a bit of a pickup there. One kill now could change everything. Genuinely could change everything, because one kill, if it's clean enough, will lead to the Elder. Can lead to a map state changing around for itself. Top esports. very, very powerful in those side lanes with that Gnar with such a big amount, and that's now full build for 369, who has the Starix, makes it even harder to burst them out, and that's the big thing. You've got tenacity from Starix, got tenacity from the Wit's End, makes it very hard to lock them down long enough to get a second round of cooldowns through, which is one of the ways that you can potentially look for kills in that side lane. There's nothing like a Leandries for Karis as well, which would make it a much more feasible attempt to kill that guy on a side lane. Crisp has himself Flash and Ultimate, and the Celestial Opposition gets onto Vampire, who's holding the door shut for now, but that's Cyclone onto 2 tanks. Not the best thing ever, really, but Cream has maybe gone a little too far. Chris has that, Cube has that Flash, rather, but not able to get much on there. The Ignite managed to stop Cream from getting all of that. Heal back up, Crisp, down an Ultimate. Cream still has his up. No Cyclone now, and does that mean that you can feel a little bit more bold now from top East West? Yes, it does. Push WE back, and maybe those cooldowns being down could be the decider for this. Elder started up. Starting to get some healing from the jungle item. Can I be happy with that one? Has no flash. Cream on the side can get himself that healing. And that's an ultimate from MF, which is not stopped by the door. Tianjin trying to heal off those raptors. Is it going to be enough in time? Will have to be. We're going to have that much left. No Cyclone does have flash. Can get over the pit with the W with that flash, and that might just be what they're going for. They don't have the best platform for a fight. Taeyeon jumps over, tries to get some damage and some vision. Is it enough? Chris, no ultimate, but will he need it? Karis doesn't get that much damage down, and the Elder goes to top esports. It's not been enough from WE. Top esports will get themselves that late game fight they were looking for. Took them a bloody long time to find it, but it will come their way all the same. No waves really in position to end the game, but the Elder should really force into Baron and other things. Top esports, that should really be them back in control the first time in a little while through some clever play around objectives and side lanes. Back out onto the map. There was an inhibitor down in that bot lane. Nexus Turret doesn't fall. Full build, of course, we were saying for Gnar earlier, but we're getting closer and closer towards that. Taeyeon doesn't have himself an ultimate, doesn't cast it in time. I saw you were trying to achieve their observers. I really like visual storytelling within observers. Being like, hey, this guy has ultimate. Wonder if he'll use it. Taeyeon jumps over. He's trying to get some damage, maybe buy some cooldowns. Look, I actually don't think this is the worst thing ever, because I think what he's trying to do is buy some time, and more importantly, buy cooldowns so Tianjin can get into the pit. I actually don't mind this. Now, the problem is Tianjin doesn't go in for the play after that point. Well, he does, and he fails it anyway. The problem is he doesn't get the Elder. If that play allows Tianjin to get the Elder, obviously you then praise Taeyeon. It sucks. It sucks. For this one, though, I actually think Taeyeon's had a pretty good game. I'm not going to blame him for this one. He's had a lot of good value on the Ezreal. That one, I'm sure that will make the montage reels, and there are genuine, yes, valid criticisms of it, but still, I think I see the angle at least. Top esports now walking in with the Baron, with a Hull Breaker. Yeah, I mean, good luck, WE. Not much else you can do about this one. Cream level 18, Jekyll level 18. Those XP differentials have actually even been flipped. Kanavi up a level on Tianjin. Top esports not able to do much about this Gnar on the side either. WE not been able to consistently get onto the carries at the right moments in the right times in the late game. Smiting away a cannon. Karis has a little bit more wave clear than previous renditions of Aurora because of the basic cooldowns, the basic abilities rather, having longer range and slightly more power, but the ultimate being toned down just a little bit. WE, what have you got? Not great at taking fights in multiple directions. Cream just going to walk forwards, gets that pull down. That's a decent shield, but it's not protecting your towers, though, is it? They're going to go down. 369 gets himself a Starix, and he's happy with that. One of the turrets do fall. Big ultimate. Crisp doesn't have himself an ult, but that's not really who you care about in terms of the HP. You care about Jackal, who is currently full on that resource. Cube going to get taken down. The Elder will be enough in top esports. They have been made to sweat a little bit. This is not a matchup which WE were favored to win by any means possible. Top esports have claimed themselves game 2 of the series. Hi. You know what? As a treat, you can see my face. Hello. How's it going? Hope you're doing well, everyone. Feels good to be back for the first time on all. Katari, Reese, and I think I missed one earlier as well. Ghost, I mean, I recall that one out. But thank you, everyone, for the primes and the subscriptions. It means a lot to me. As we get through more LPL days, of course, I will be back to doing a little bit more of what we were doing in previous years. Go to Solocast, thank you, appreciate it. I am not a play-by-play by any means, and I do mess up a lot of things. But hey, for me, it's just mainly getting myself back into the mindset and good things. Can't believe top esports win this. I mean, their composition should win late game. WE had a good shot at it. Like, I'm not unhappy with how WE played. I think that they had that one really important pickup around the Baron really helped them. Kirby. Hello, League of Legends caster. Numbers. Wait, no, that's not quite right. Hello, League of Legends caster Nymaera. I'd like to apologize for referring to you as League of Legends caster numbers. By the way, that's what my name autocorrects to. As it has been so long, I forgot how this dumb joke goes. Anyway, I'm currently playing in the League of Legends tournament, the League of Legends Pro League, but some weird skeleton demon keeps giving my opponents free revives. What should I do in this situation? Regards, your ex-Kirby. Have you considered talking to Paparito and writing in triplicate on of different leaflets you find around the city? Complaints about the conduct of Riot Games and this objective outcome. Wait, petition to make Baron and Elder Belder? Yeah, I could see that. Hey, I'm good to see you. Hope everyone's staying hydrated and stuff in there. When did I first hear the news about LEC? Well, I had my first talk about it around about Worlds Finals last year, but I didn't know whether anything would come about it and what would come in through that. For the record, folks, as it currently stands, I'm on for LEC Winter. There's no guarantee I'm there beyond it, so I'm going to try my very best to make the most of this opportunity. But hopefully you'll be seeing a lot of me in LEC Winter. For those of you that didn't see, I'm on LEC Winter as both caster and an analyst. I'll be doing both. And you will see me this weekend casting with Hysterics tomorrow. I'll be casting the last 3 games of the day. And on day 3, which is Monday, I will be on desk the entire day, so hope you guys tune in. Hope you enjoy a bit of that. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. Will I be continuing my podcast on Richard's channel? Yep, I will be. And also, I'll be continuing to do this as much as I can as well. Now, am I going to suffer burnout? We'll figure out in a couple of months. But yeah, I think, obviously I'm very happy with the opportunity, and I really hope that you guys enjoy the work which I can do this year. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to do as much LPL as last year because the LEC is a full broadcast, which I'm very happy to be a part of, and obviously that is my absolute priority. But when I am not on live on it, well, when I'm not on this channel, Sam will be on this channel, so you'll be able to catch him casting some of those things as well. And it'll be largely the same thing here. We'll be chilling between games. You can ask questions, and we'll try and be chill, friendly, and still informative. So it should be on this one because I don't think Sam has LPL co-streaming rights, and also I have Twitch partner, and I can give Sam the proceeds from this channel because I can. So yeah, I think that's what we've discussed right now. That might change in the future, but as it stands, Sam and I will both be on this. Now, if one of us isn't free, the other one will still be on here. Yeah, basically because my one was the one which was being used for LPL last year, and has more followers and slightly higher kind of visibility. It's just easiest to use this one for now, but yeah. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that will lead to some good stuff. You know, I'm trying to be fair to Sam whilst also getting the most value out of it. Am I going to be on desk or cast mostly? I don't know yet. It's both. So I'm going to be on both. But if I'm casting in one weekend or on desk one weekend, I'm pretty sure that's like what I'm going to be doing for that weekend. But yeah, I suppose it'll be whatever I'm slotting into best to within the team. You know, I'm there to be the best teammate for the other LPL. Yes, the other LPL talent, I suppose. There are a load of them there. The other LEC talent. And yeah, see where I best fit into the team and see what they need me for, you know? Because I'm happy with both. I would say I prefer casting, but I'm very happy to do both. I think the creativity of being on desk is a very fun thing. But yes, I will be casting Koi versus, Movistar Koi versus Casey. That will be, that's my debut game back in like first game in 2 years, so yeah. Did I actually have to cut my holiday short? Yes, I did. Yeah, I did. I was on a family holiday in Thailand until yesterday. It was a horror story getting back because I had to change my tickets back from Bangkok. We went through a travel agency and they messed up their changes, so they thought that they booked me a ticket. They'd cancelled my ticket instead when they were messing around in panic. So I turned up to get my connecting flight after coming back from Shanghai to Bangkok. I was in Shanghai. I got to see some elephants, which was really, really cool. So I walked up there and I was like, hey, so I don't have a ticket. And they were like, well, I was like, hey, what's up with my ticket? And they said, you don't have one. I'm like, So I am currently alone, stranded in Bangkok because my family's flown off to Phuket. What can you do for me? And they said, look, okay, we'll try and help you as best as I can. And the actual Thai Airlines were really, really supportive about this. They said, hey, just go to the standby queue and we'll hope that someone misses a connecting flight or cancels their ticket or something like that. And luckily, normally you're only allowed to do that about 45 minutes before the flight leaves. So it's just before the gate closes and check-in closes. And luckily, very luckily, I got a ticket as soon as I walked over, because I was like 5 hours early. I had like a 5-hour layover. Yeah, and luckily was able to get myself a ticket there. But yeah, trail finders are not in my good books, folks. Now, so luckily it was no cost, because it was travel agent messing up. So luckily it was that came out, because the travel agents are like obligated to get me home, and it was their mistake because I was under the assumption I had tickets and they didn't. And that's the bonus of going through a travel agent, I guess, but it shouldn't have happened in the first place. But yeah, so that was something. Yeah, then I was traveling for 24 hours solid, basically. Had to get up early. Yeah, I walked alongside an elephant, hopped on a plane to Bangkok from Shanghai, and I'm so sorry, Mega Cabbage. Look, if it's helpful, no. Trail founders have been really good before that. I really don't. No. I feel really bad now. Trail founders have been really good. It's just right now they're not in my good books because they almost left me stranded in Bangkok. Oh god. And there were lots of other people who were on honeymoons there having a much better time than me. Don't you worry about that. It's only because I was inconvenient and I changed my tickets. God, God, I'm so sorry, man. But yeah, God. Hey, I did get home in the end, yeah, exactly. But the backup plan was me getting a flight around about like now in Bangkok, so I would have had to stay overnight in the airport for like 21 hours, which would have been kind of sad. Now gets player of the yeah. 369 side laning was the game changer. Also, I have to say I am not happy with Cream this game. Cream's team fighting was very suspect for a Vladimir. One thing which I want to pride myself on, by the way, folks, is that I know this league well enough to call players out when I have to, because I think that's one of the hard things about like not being as familiar with the league. And it's one of the reasons I want to keep casting a lot of LPL as well, so I want to keep this familiarity because I know this league like the back of my hand now. I know Cream can do better than this. We've seen what can happen with Vladimir as well in these kind of high tier, well, from high tier teams. We've seen Knight do this. We've seen High Chow on LNG. I'm not going to say it's a high tier team because sadly they're not right now. But we know what Vladimir can do in late game team fights, and Cream did not deliver on the Vladimir promise. He had one or two fights towards the end of the game which were good, but he really should have carried a lot more towards the other ones. And Kanavi as well really messed up a lot of big engages, which was, yeah, not the best, folks, not the best. You know what I should do? I should open up a separate browser window so I can have some stuff in the foreground. You know what? Crisp also had a pretty decent game on the Alistair. I'm not gonna... yeah, he had a pretty good game. I'm trying to think who are the best players on W that game. I mean, Karis was really good. Karis is doing a lot of work. His Victor last game also wasn't the problem. Yeah, look, I know that Karis and Taeyeon were pretty bad in LCK, but I was pretty happy with them. Are my ads set to 90 seconds? That's a good question. That's a good question, Blade. I actually haven't checked this out in a while. Oh, I need to set up like a coffee as well or something, or some kind of donation button so I can get some stuff for Sam. Roast for Foxy Luxana. Anything. You know, the only thing which has made me feel more anxious and less safe than trail finders leaving me stranded in Bangkok is being in a voice call with you, Foxy. Okay, right. I'm gonna go take a break, folks. I'm gonna turn my camera off. Also, if you're on YouTube as well, hello, welcome as well. Thank you, Marcus. I really appreciate that. W should have won. Yeah, I see that. I am trying to keep an eye on both chats. I'm not great at keeping an eye on combined chat, folks. That's something which I need to get a widget or something for my. Or does anyone? By the way, does anyone know if there's like a website or a widget or something that can have multi-chats on? Because what happens right now is like I do technically have a multi-chat, but I have to flip between tabs to really see stuff. Anyway, I'm gonna go get myself another coffee. I'm also going to. Wait, I should no, my ads are fine for now, but. Is my pre-roll on? My pre-roll's off. So yeah, I'm gonna I roll 3 minutes ads manually when I'm on break. Anyway, I'm gonna go take a break, folks, because I've gotta get myself a coffee. So enjoy break screen for now, and then yeah, I'll be back in just a second.
TCL
皇冠战马，更受中国电竞用户喜欢的能量饮料，更受年轻人喜欢的中国能量饮料。中国电竞，当然有我，有能量，当然战马。
诺克萨斯人总是爱念叨力量至上什么的，我不仅会赢，而且会赢得很漂亮。这儿是我的场子，滚出我的老家！我跟那些烂人打斗的场面不全是演的。新年快乐，妈。
Okay, folks, we're back, and I'm going to run some ads now, because that's good. Hey, Angie, how's it going? Angie, do you still have your stream streak as well? Thank you, Blade. It's all good. Thank you, Ghost. If you can find that, that would be... oh, it didn't go past 45? Oh, that's really annoying. Angie had a big old stream streak. Oh, he built it himself, huh? Well, whatever. I'm just gonna have to do more. I'm just gonna have to do more streams, Angie. That's it. But yeah, folks, I'm gonna try and stream as much as possible, as I was saying, and yeah. Thanks everyone for tuning back in. 07 streak. I also need to Okay. So, you know what? This is again, I think, let me figure out my words. I think all of the bottom tier LPL teams that I thought were going to be really bad have ended up being a little better than I thought they would. And I want to give real credit to that, actually. Ultra Prime were better than I thought they would be. LGD were much better than I thought they would be. And W are currently doing pretty okay as well, actually. Considering where I thought they would be. Because where did I have them? Because I had... LGD is the worst team. I don't know if that's true anymore. Ultra Prime is 15th and W is 14th. I think that potentially, you know, FPX and RNG look pretty bad. OMG weren't great either, actually. Yeah, I actually think they could maybe just escape the bottom runs at least. Are the lower teams running LDL players from last year? Not all of them. Some are. I know RNG have Judgy, who was on TESC with Niket, and there is rumor that Niket is coming back to play with him, so they would be reforming their LDL bot lane duo. So that is something which might happen in the future. Rosie Love on Ultra Prime. He's an LDL player from Ultra Prime and Ultra Prime Academy. Oh, Ultra Prime... Is it Ultra Prime Academy? I'm trying to remember if they have a... Because they used to be called Unlimited Potential. They switched the name around. And I think their mid laner as well is also from... yeah, Saber. Saber is also from their Academy team as well, I'm pretty sure. Oh, sorry, and Sorrow, their jungler. Yeah, so Ultra Prime are running a lot of their LDL players, yeah. They are. I think those that are doing that are in better spot with Phyllis. Yes, Blade, I thought exactly the same thing. In fact, I made a comment on Reddit about this too. Players which have experienced LDL from 2023 to now will have Fearless experience. And the important thing with that is that they will have experience within teams that have been coached and preparing for Fearless. So if you have players and coaches which have worked in that, it really does make a difference to it. Okay, right, we are back into our draft. That's what those lights mean. Here in Xi'an. Well, I say here in Xi'an. I'm not in Xi'an, sadly. I like Xi'an. It's really cool. The hot pot I had in Xi'an, by the way, some of the very best food I've ever had. Oh my god, if you're ever in Xi'an, get hot pot. It is so good. In fact, there was a guy at the local mall from our hotel called Victor. Well, his English name was Victor, who had never spoken conversational English to an actual like English person before. He was adorable. He gave us some free stuff to put in the hot pot. It was great. He just ran a hot pot place at the mall. So I've got a video somewhere of Mazel, Hysterics, and I going out for hot pot. Hysterics was ordering blood to put in a hot pot, and I don't think he realized how much he ordered. Anyway, look, there's a draft going on. That's why I call Hysterics the Blood Man very occasionally. Anyway, right. Yone, up and available, ST pick, and unbanned from the previous drafts as well. So Karis is going to pick that one up, and I think with Karis being the most potent player on WWE so far, that makes a lot of sense. What are you going to do about the rest of the map, though? So you passed over the Ashe. You could go towards a Caitlyn lane. That's up and available, and we're running a little bit low on... No, we're not running low on 80 carries. Well, no, Varus is gone, Ezreal's gone. They're two of the better picks into the Ashe. You could go towards a Caitlyn lane. You could go Caitlyn. You don't want to pick anything shorter range than that, I don't think. Blood hot pot is a vibe. I need to do this once in life. So the thing about blood is that it's kind of like gelatinous. So like it's not really there for taste, it's there for texture. And it's very different from what we have in like Western society and stuff like that. But it's not wasting any of a bushed animal, basically. I tried it. It was okay. I wouldn't say like I completely vibed with it because it's just very different from what I have. But I tried it, and I always encourage that if you're going to different cultures, try the food. It's a great way to kind of get on their wavelength a little bit more. This is hard, Fearless Foxy. So any team playing any champion picking a champion cannot be played later into the series. So really big engage and follow-up comp from top esports. Ashe Zyra is really, really nice as well because Ashe gives a lot of safety to Zyra, who's not really great at face checking into different parts of the map. So already some pretty good, cool stuff there. And it Ziggs into the Ashe instead. So I was thinking about Caitlyn. Ziggs is a decent play as well, though. It means that you've got your magic damage secured. Also, very good into Ashe and Zyra, because if you get yourself good enough backline access, that is very important. Now, the reason why I'm slowing my tone of voice down, you need to have a good support pairing with it. You don't have Leona. That was played in game 1. You don't have Rakan. That was also played in game 1. They're two of the best things. Even something like the Alistar would have been nice for it. So now you have, what, Nautilus and Rel. Because you haven't locked in your support now, which is a prime pairing with Ziggs, you're probably going to get support locked in now by top esports. If they lock in the Rel, if they lock in the Rel and ban away two other engaged champions, what does Vampire play here? You have a Sejuani, yes, that does help, but what happens if someone stands in front of the target you actually want to hit? Throwing the Ziggs ult onto the frontline tank is not the idea. You want to throw onto the backline target, which kills them. Ban away the Jax instead. But I mean, for me, I just ban away, what, Nautilus now or something? I guess maybe you leave the Nautilus up and you say you lose lane boost. But taking away the Rel is already very important, because I think the best champions to play with the Ziggs are Leona, Rel, and Rakan. I think those are the three picks which I prefer the most. I think Nautilus was better in the past when Nautilus was... more stronger, and that's banned away anyway. So you now have no Nautilus there now, right? This is the power of Fearless. What you need to be aware of in Fearless, and I really want to stress this to people who have not watched Fearless before, and I'll be talking about this on LEC when we get to Fearless there as well. When you get later into series, think about the subclasses of champions. You don't just think about, oh, what supports are there, what AD carries are there, what engaged combo supports are there, where you have an engaged champion which can combo up with Ziggs. There are only like 4 champions like that which are very strong like that in the game. What about disengage AD carries or something like that, or lane dominant AD carries, stuff that can deal with the Ashe? That's the kind of thing which gets really, really important. And now I think WE have fallen into that pitfall a little bit. You do have the Yone, which can help with some of that engage, but because like WE, this support champion pool being pinched so hard is going to really hurt them. And I think it's a very good recognition from Top Esports on that. It's not easy for them to now find a great combination with the Ziggs in terms of having a support champion with a long enough CC combo to allow the full combo from Ziggs to land. The Smolder, technically a flex pick for Top Esports. Doesn't want to go into the Aatrox. Can go into the Yone. Completely fine in the mid lane. Yeah, I mean, it will be into that. And the Vampire goes for the Pyke. Okay, so it is going to be a little bit of snowballing there from the bot lane of WE. What they'll probably want things to be doing now is leaving Ziggs to get up to a good enough level for Vampire to just roam across the map, maybe pick up some Blood Roses on the way to get some extra XP for the team. Top Esports, what do they do now? You want something that doesn't get as punished by the Halo Blades Pyke Sejuani combo. Get themselves a Camille last pick for 369. Hey, this is not something that he plays that much anymore. 369 Camille was something which he played a lot more back in the day when he was much more of a carry-oriented player, but very, very different now at this point. So, WE, I think the support pool pinch on them puts them into a very precarious situation in the early game now. Pyke does not want to play later into the game that much. If you get caught out by Rel as well, very, very powerful. The level 1 is going to be very, very important for WE. You need to see a good hook from Vampire, landing on Jackal over Crisp, chunking them out so you get lane presence at the right point in the game. So Blade is actually correct in terms of the Fearless as well. So in LDL, the case was that I have a random dot on the screen. In LDL, if you reached Game 5, Fearless would be reset. Now, in the current LPL iteration of things, I do not believe that is the case. Or is it LCKCL? I believe that was the case in LDL as well. But yeah, there are some places before in best of 5s, when you reach Game 5, the Fearless is reset. But I believe that is not the case now. See, the great thing about me being on my own stream, being able to be reading your chat and stuff like that, I can be as much caster Nymaera as I want to be, but I can also very quickly glance off to the side and see if anyone has any expertise as well. Because believe it or not, I don't actually know everything, and there are a lot of very intelligent people in chat, yes, I am talking to you, who can help me fill in some extra knowledge bombs as well. So yeah, if you do have little bits, I am keeping track. Unless you get really, you know, sometimes chat has a hard day. Sometimes chat has a hard day. And we have to start again on that. Into game though, we'll listen to the Gyos. There is no reset as of now. You're correct, Nymaera. Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate it a lot. Okay, level 1 coming through. So this is important because one of the things about these evolved level 1s is that you can deny Pyke getting himself like a standard level 1, which you can get a lot of value out of. Nice job casting. Sometimes it feels like 2 people are casting. Now, the thing is, I do like to yap, so that does help a little bit with it. Now, I will say, though, solo casting is a very different experience to duo casting, and you need to make sure, as a caster, this is something that both Hysterics and Munchables talk to me about, actually, is in terms of if you get used to being on your own stream for too long, just talking to yourself, when you go to your actual job of casting with 2 people, it can sometimes be a bit hard to switch back. Cream, of course, was at Worlds when the Smolder Yone meta was very, very prevalent. So he's very practiced at this. This is something that I do think Fearless Draft is quite intriguing for. Look, I'm not going to lie and say that I'm completely sold on Fearless Draft. This is level 1 I'm talking about, by the way. Wait for that hook. Force out of the bush, though. That's a shame. They don't get anything out of that level 1. if you get enough random compositions banned, you have to flex into another meta which might not be picked game 1 of any series, but because there are so many champions banned, you have to flex into something different. And Vampire has flexed himself into a Pyke, and the level 1's not gone well. Look, Vampire's laning phase has typically actually been very strong. It's one of the strongest parts of his game. But that level 1 is not what you want. He'll have one more hook really left to hit. They do get the level 2 though, but it's matched for the level 2 on the other side, and the crash down comes through, but the shield's there from Crisp. Doesn't really mean that much comes through from that point. They're happy taking that one. You have to think about Pyke. Every hook is a huge opportunity, but it is also a huge cost if you miss it as well. This is the case in a bunch of different lanes at high elo. I talk about this with Silas Akali quite a lot, where every hook you miss, just like that one there too, it's mana and it's cooldowns. It's an amount of HP from the enemy champion that should be removed. So the fact that he's missed 3 hooks already in the first couple of levels of the game is not really good enough, and that's another one there as well. That's going to be another volley landing. Crisp and Jackulov have really just dodged the hooks very well. Vampire's not been very accurate with them. Taeyeon's not really been able to hit anything freestanding either. And suddenly, Pyke's not getting that much. 369 going to chase out Tianjin. Not going to be able to get that much extra done. I mean, Tianjin is not going to be able to get to his Gromp, though. 369 will miss a minion or 2 in topside, because Cube has allowed that one to hit there. But that's really important. It's information to Kanavi, who is a much faster clearing jungler than the Sejuani. We saw a lot of Sejuani versus Zyra from last year as well, where Sejuani doesn't get to contest that well. And now Kanavi, he loved that meta last year. He was so very good at it. It's going to be a Comet landing. I think that was as well. No, it wasn't any steal away. You can see that the 18 CS has been hit from Tianjin. We stuck at 17. Otherwise, Vampire on the roam. This is important now because you need to track this Pyke. You've stopped him in the early laning phase. What's Vampire going to do? He's going to look for a hook, or is he going to look for the E immediately? Crisp is here already. Cream, what's he going to do? Not that much currently available. Vampire going to get stunned away. Cream holds onto his summoners, and that is very, very important. The Ignite wasted. Doesn't manage to break through the discipline of Cream, who will get himself a recall now. And Vampire not able to do anything in laning phase, not able to do anything on the first roam. The support pool was pinched, not able to get that much. Can he stop the recall? Going to spot out Cream. Can he spot him? He spots him, but cannot cancel him after that point either. So Cream going to get himself teleport back into the mid lane. And top esports, they have evaded that first hurdle, really, of that Pyke's early game. Cheeky 369. As we said, not necessarily been someone that's played Camille all too recently, but it's something that he's played in the past. Kanavi has the level advantage. Tianjin does have the smite advantage though and takes something away. This is important because you already see the jungle. The jungle CS is already going to be absolutely horrific, and one of the big problems with WE as they go later into this game is they're going to get, well, one, you're going to have stuff like Pyke hooks, but I mean, there's still flash on this guy, and that's not even... Okay, Crisp ends up tanking that one down. He does have himself the flash. Cream ends up using his support as a bit of a body block for that, but again, it's another opportunity from Vampire that doesn't get what is needed to. Getting a flash is fine. Getting 2 flashes is okay. I'm not going to say that's not a positive, but you need to get so much out of an early game for Pyke, especially in a draft like this where it's hard to play later into the game, that when you miss things, it really, really hurts. Vampire still has his flash, can go for an E flash at some point. He uses E now, though. Gonna get continually slowed. Chris might be able to get himself a crash down. Can he get the Q? No, he can't. He's waiting to see if he can get that stun down. Vampire gets himself a bit of a heal, but every time Vampire doesn't get a kill out of this early game, you just feel that timer on the game ticking a little bit closer. You haven't been able to combo up that much. Vampire's going to walk towards Chris. Doesn't get the stun. This time, though, it is going to lead to something. Chris is going to go down. It's first blood over to Vampire. About 10 attempts in, gets himself an actual kill onto the board. This is what is needed. That timer ekes a little bit further and gives them a little bit of breathing room. However, one thing that is worth noting. Gold over to the Pyke. Definitely not a bad thing. Kanavi, you're level 6. That's a good thing here. You are... I mean, Vampire does have flash. Is he just going to die straight out? Not quite. Cream does have his ultimates. Is he going to cast it? The extra vision did come down from that. Vampire now suddenly only level 3. Going to get himself a little bit of HP from that passive of his. Going to get there some more from the honey fruit as well. Kanavi, no ult, no flash this time. Tianjin has himself a level down, but doesn't need it really for the ultimate. Chris gets himself some CC, but will not be able to survive. Help his jungler survive. Level 3 on Chris is more than enough for him though. And suddenly Vampire goes down and the fight is lost in the early game. These fights are oh so important for Team WE. Karis trying to clean up what he can. He will get one back. 369 is available to follow forward with a flash though. When's his next E coming through? WE, they get themselves, what, 2 grubs? They get themselves a couple of kills, but even fights are not what they're looking for. On the surface of it, you'll say, oh, it's an even fight, but an even fight for an early game team is still a strategic loss. Thank you for the resub, Vasu. Hope you're doing well. Okay, right. Very active early game, as we thought there would be. What are we going back to? Going back to just beyond the pick onto Kanavi, which took his flash and his ultimate. Can't get away from the combo after this point. The engine gets a funny bop over the wall and then ends up on the other side of it. Karis uses ult onto that one. Cream, not necessarily at death smolder stage right now. You can see that, you know, it's really hard to take longer fights as W. You need to end the fight very, very quickly or things get very, very difficult. After that point, Camille, Smolder, Zyra, Ash can all be big carries later into the fight and other hook lands, but when it's onto the what's the champion? Rel! Yeah, Rel means a lot less. At least the kills are on the right champions. Yeah, I can see that. Kill on the Aatrox, kill on the Yone. That's a good point. I will take that under advisement, Delta. I will appreciate that one. So, however, on the other side though, kill for the Camille, kill for the Smolder. Also very, very powerful. So, 3 grabs to WE. No dragon taken just yet. Resets back out onto the map. No significant gold leads opening up just yet, which is actually, I suppose, good for WE considering the jungle CS difference. Kanavi, as soon as he hits, you know, he's already got Fated Ashes, but as soon as he gets towards that 1 item, 2 item kind of spike, it's really, really game over, I think, for W after that point. It wouldn't surprise me, actually, to see this be a Leandri's into Zhonya's game. You can go Leandri's Rylai's, obviously. It's very, very valuable getting the slow onto a bunch of melee champions for melee comp. But Zhonya's just denying the easy pick, and forcing longer fights can be very valuable too. So we'll see what Kanavi's item build is. If you trust Crisp and 369 to bail you out, go Rylai's, and if you trust your positioning. But if you really want to put your body on the line, use your HP as a resource and force them into longer fights, I think Zhonya's or at least a Seeker's second can be very valuable. Ooh, okay. CS disadvantage 369. That's not very helpful there. Q3 lands onto him. Good trade there. W uses Cube uses the auto reset of the E, but he does have an enemy jungler heading towards him. He does have flash. Root misses from Kanavi. Ult comes through to Kanavi, but he's already cast his abilities. How much damage have you got left in the pocket now? 369 flashing away, but Crisp has arrived first. It was not a 2v2. The root lands from Kanavi onto Tianjin will be enough to get the kill anyway. Tianjin will probably lose his life in this one. What's happening in the rest of the map? Smolder has died and a solo kill in the mid lane as Karis picks up one, but the fight in the bot side very much goes in favor of top esports. Karis really is saving grace here because it allows an extra plate to go to the side of Karis and gets this Yone into a bit more of a threatening stage of the game. Okay, so what happens here? Knockup doesn't land. He walks back up, and Cream walks up at the wrong point. So Vampire comboing up well onto Karis. I thought that was a solo kill. How did that happen? Oh, wait, hang on. So it must have been a solo kill. So Cream gets chunked out again. Then what happens after this point? He doesn't have flash. Tries to clear out of the wave again. Stands next to the turret. Gets hit with a knockup. The ult comes out after that point. And Karis gets an easy kill. Cream just very disrespectful there. All right. I mean, what else can you say? The hook in mid lane was fine. It was good. Got a good chunk out. Should have gotten a lot more. But Cream didn't have flash. Didn't have E. Stood next to the turret. If it one of the dangerous things is that, of course, if you're not currently able to cross the wall, if you stand next to it, you remove half of your dodging options. Good kill coming in from Karis, but have to question the disrespect from Cream. Gold is even enough. 11 minutes into the game. I think you call that a top esports win all the same, though, because, again, they have a Smolder. They have a Camille. Even the Ashe is going to be very happy in the late game with, you know, the Zyra buying space for them. Speaking of the Zyra, has themselves the Leandri's built just up, and wait to see what happens with the second item coming through after that point. That's really interesting to me, actually, to see which one comes through. No feats of strength completed just yet. W have the first blood, and they have themselves 2 objectives with 1 set of 3 grubs, and then Dragon on top of that as well. Another objective would be that for them, but the first turret, of course, is the other thing on the table. Top is what's not really contesting for them right now because they have, you No objectives down, so they can't complete one of those feats of strength. 369, currently alone on this side lane, uses his E, that's one of his big escape options, doesn't have flash, does have his ultimate. There's no one really coming down here, and he will die, uses the ult anyway for reasons which are beyond me, I've got to say, chat. Goes down, and the kill goes over to Cube. Vampire didn't have the 6 to denote extra gold over. 369, I had a couple of complaints about him last year in side lanes. This one, yeah, bit of a freebie easy one. Don't you dare be glazing Vampire in this chat. Go to Eric on stream for that one. You're not welcome here. It's a good kill though. It's a good kill. 369 hadn't got the wave crashed in the right point and didn't have the right cover to really play that one through. WWE, you know, again, credit to them. I think that they played a lot better today than I thought they would be coming into this split. This is their first series, of course, for Toppies as well. Hook over the wall does end up missing. Jaculov was picked off there last game. Second set of grubs picked off. If all three go over the side of W, they will get themselves that thing. And that's going to be an ult right onto the jungler. Gets body blocked for one of them and will survive. Crisp really helping things out there, but it's not going to be enough. Jaculov will get the kill, and Vampire's going to get absolutely blasted with fire and ice. Game of Thrones, which he loses as he goes down to both the Ash and the Smolder. Dracarys as Cream ends up picking up the assist, and it does mean that suddenly you're not going to be able to get yourself all of those grubs. Actually, call me a liar on that one. Taya, I don't actually know if you win this one, buddy. We shall see. Tianjin does have flash. If you can go for a Q flash, that would be very, very dangerous. Tianjin wants to stick around. He really wants to get both these grubs. If he can, that would be the feats of strength for them. Of course, 6 grubs is still 6 grubs. 369 in the mid lane. Does not have flash or ultimate, but does land the slow. Is there anything more you can do with that one? Triforce activator does definitely help. Not the best combo there from 369. Those he takes half his HP to force someone with teleport back to base, so we can just come back out onto the map. Top East, all the same, going to be able to get themselves a denial on the full house of grubs, Grubageddon, as Al and I look to call it, and we'll be able to stop the feats of strength as well. Did you like that, by the way? A Game of Thrones, a song of fire and ice, because, you know, it's Smolder and Ash. I thought it was quite fitting, actually. Queen Ash. I liked it. But I like great many things. Looks like it's going to be a tower on the bot side, potentially being hinted at. No ult for Karras, no flash for Karras, but is there damage available? Leandries comes through from Kanavi, but not nearly enough damage on that one. Just forced them away from the turret. So, race for first turret. The first turret goes over to W. They will get themselves that feats of strength, and they will likely be able to get that all the same. So, Top Esports giving this one away, I think, and they will do. First turret goes over to the side of WE, but the gold still over to the side of both teams as well. I think Top Esports trading gold for gold, they're happy with that one on the whole. As we said, they are the ones who are wanting to survive to a certain timer. If they get themselves enough gold and they've already got themselves to first items, they're very happy with that. The extra stats with WE definitely help them in snowballing the game around. The particularly early game combination of the Pike and stuff like the Sejuani Yone as well being very powerful. You see right here, look, Chris does all he can. I think maybe a mistake from Tayin to not get the sense for the ult on Kanavi. The extra damage could have really helped. Maybe get the kill before the ult comes through. And Vampire finds him way too deep. Jaculov really good at picking up the pieces because he knows that, okay, all of the cooldowns are used elsewhere. Got to use this somewhere else now. Okay, so relatively even in the gold again. I should try drawing on the map again. Yeah, look at this. So you're playing around a lot of vision around this spot. So full vision onto the Zyra. You are waiting really to see whether Jaculov can use his hawk shots to try and buy some extra damage as well. Can you see when I'm drawing on the map? I actually can't. I guess this is the preview. Anyway, I hope you can, because otherwise my artistic skills are laid to waste. But yep, as we're seeing this right now, very long open lane on the bot side. Losing that bot lane out of turret, of course, means that you can't defend vision then as well. Look, I actually think Chris is tanking a lot of damage here. Needs to flash out. Needs to be quite careful. Confirming the stun. No one's really coming through for this one after that point. Look, that's an extra ult coming through. Vampire going to go forwards. Does have the ult. Some extra gold potentially on the cards for this. Swan punted towards the plant, but will not be able to survive as Vampire claims an extra bag of cash. Top Esports, they did not have control over the bot side vision control. They walk up too far. They don't have support. They lose kills. And suddenly, Vampire gets himself the reset on that ultimate and is very, very happy at getting himself an extra bag of gold for his teammates. Turret goes down as well. Good play. This is exactly what you need to do. And one of the last available timestamps as well. Top Esports would have liked to go towards that dragon, but realistically, you cannot go up that far without having enough support. There were 4 people ready to combo onto them very, very quickly. And Tianjin knew that he could force the play, knew that he had Vampire in the back pocket. I think Tianjin calling that play very, very powerful for him. Has himself the Unending Despair as well, which helps you kind of take those extended damaging trades. Good damage for an item. 369. down in gold despite having 3 kills, and of course down in XP as well, and very, very much losing out this trade. Cube waits out the adapted defenses, can't cancel the E on the wall though. That would have potentially been a big problem for 369. Herald started up on the other side though. Top Esports, they have the advantage there. They have the advantage on that side because they took the top town. Of course, when they lost their bot tower at the same kind of time. Top Esports, I think they just played around the wrong area of the map. You don't really want to be playing against a snowbally team in the early game when you're kind of throwing squishies to the wolves, really. Kara's heading towards 2 items. That's going to be scary. However, as we go further on, I will say, though, last game, really Toppies was one in the macro very, very heavily. Game before that, of course, Toppies were just going to blur out the game. Didn't really matter nearly as much on that front. Blast Cone, Q forwards. Okay. I mean, in fairness, you don't expect to see... well, I mean, maybe you say, oh, it'll happen when pigs fly. He literally did and finds himself 2 kills after that point. Vampire combo on top of it. Tianjin, getting good value out of that. Blast Clone. Blast Cone. Really, really paying dividends. That's a good emote, Amber. It's a good emote. I like that. So, big things which are happening this game which are not very good for Top Esports. 369 not winning the individual matchup, despite the fact having 3 kills, is really, really bad. Because that's something which you do need to get ahead in at some point. Heading towards 2 items obviously helps a lot, but that's an ult missing. No flash for Crisp or Kanavi. You can cancel out the crash down as well. Bit far now, but where's the damage? Crisp does not have the HP to play for this one and is getting very close towards execute range. They want to continue the play because they have a teleport coming through. Who's he going on to, though? Force the ult out of Karis. Ult for TP, though, tends to go towards the ult side of that trade. Much shorter cooldown. Teleport coming over from Cube does mean that. It's 1 for 1 on that side, though. Cube not able to stay in that side lane. 369 going to stay on top side. Top Esports, little bit of an overforce potentially. Vampire could be looking towards getting demolished onto the end turret. Does manage to do so. Gives a stack over to Cream on the way out. And the play diffuses. So Atakan spawning on one of the sides of the map. Top side. You can see the little wall. In fact, I can show you. Yay. If you look on the minimap, there's a little wall here. Means you know that Atakan's spawning there. Sometimes I forget that because I'm bad at League of Legends. When pigs fly and someone has never seen Pedrodroid get hit by a Popule. I know, right? Well, we might get to see Kanavi hit by Aatrox, and is going to be a kill return right back in trade, though, and this is the problem. You go too far into extended trades and things go pretty bad for you. Dragged into the play, you must end the fight on the intro to it for Team W or things go poorly. Top Esports, they know they're going to lose a little bit of kills on the intro. Managed to turn back 2 around. That's more than fine for them. 2 for 1 in total. As we go through to the next stage. Oh, important thing. Yes, important thing. We do actually see Kanavi going towards what looks to be a Zhonya's, I think. Going towards the large rod. I think that makes a lot of sense. We called out the item build earlier and said, hey, okay, you can dare it. You can go towards Rylai's just like normal. Vampire goes forward, trying to use the right timing. Flashes, but Jackula flashes out. And Vampire only really manages to get Kanavi in that one. Very dangerous game you're playing with that one. Pyke is not someone who can take any amount of damage. And, yeah, then you have the follow-up after this point. Crisp does a good job of locking the Aatrox back into the play. Now, suddenly, what that means is that Top Esports managed to contest in this midsection a little bit more. They managed to keep the wave pushed in. Managed to deny a little bit of time for WE to regain that vision control around their side of the map. And they get to now return over to the sidelines a little bit. 369 picking up a wave. Cream picking up a wave. Cream currently on 205 stacks. Not the fastest stacking ever, but it's still pretty good pace. 10 a minute is pretty okay for the Smolder. Essence River. Shojin Power Spike coming up soon as well. As soon as Smolder hits that, and if you don't hit the Smolder, Smolder will carry the team fight. So now WE have a problem. You are now playing beyond 20 minutes with a Pyke. And that is normally not that great. Tianjin, immune to slows for now, but not immune to missing skill shots. Tianjin misses that one. Does not have the Pyke in the back pocket this time. Goes way too greedily and too deep. I suppose it's not a Balrog, but Jaculov is the next worst thing on the map. Atakan up and available on the top side. Not going to be started right now, but you're beyond 20 minutes now, folks. You cannot play like this. You must be playing towards very precise kill combos. Otherwise, the fights will just extend a little bit too far. Top Esports, they have survived the early game push. They are behind in gold, but I really challenge you to think of how WE play out the game beyond this point. They want to play on the Atakan. If they can do that, then they can extend the game a little more. Force fights very hard and maybe go into a Baron, but that is their only route to success now. They've lost themselves another outer turret. Camille's coming online with 2 items. Zhonya's built up for Kanavi. WE's timing window is down to seconds. Okay, take the chunk out of Kanavi. Wonder what that tastes like. Well, I suppose it's Zyra, so vegetables, plant life. Zhonya's helps with the extra combo kind of safety, though. And the big thing here now is that whenever someone jumps forward from WE, just look to see where the next available person is from top esports, because everyone has really good damage on top. Oh, besides Rel, but like, and even then, Rel has some value in this. This is a concept from LPL, which I mentioned this in one of the last games as well. Full contact team fighting as the ults come through. Whenever someone goes forwards, this Vampire whiffs the combo and is staked through the heart. The timing window has elapsed. Ult comes through from Crisp, and look at that combo coming through from the Smolder at the top of that. The Dragon is secured, but at what cost? At what cost? Dragon goes down, but that should lead to the Atacam. Teleport through to that top side. Top esports, they have survived the early game, as we have said multiple times now, and I think the timer has elapsed. Atacam will be focused down. I think top esports will find themselves on a cushy road to victory. Cream with the extra stacks available, has that execute available, as you've just been saying, Blade, in chat there too. Execute taking down 1 kill there. Atacam goes down, and yeah, look, looks like to WE, they don't really have much left in the tank. Tianzhen has a flash and a dream. Can they do anything with that? Vampire, no ult. He can E over the side. He knows there's a, well, he knows teleport coming in now, and he goes forwards, but can't get himself the objective. Went down to 100 and something HP, was a close run thing. That was about the only thing you could ask for them. You had to get the Atacam somehow. Fails to do so, now suddenly, jungler down. No engaged tool available for the next phase of play, and the extra GA is there too. It really does feel like WE. That was the last gasp opportunity. Top East was in control. Extra turret goes down. Cube pushing out that bot lane. We'll get something in the, across the map now, but I mean, what happens next, right? I mean, you have the GA on, the free kind of GA on Camille, who also has teleport as well. I think the next phase of play is going to be very, very dangerous. Kanavi walked up. He was alone, but I mean, this guy does have flash, and he has Zhonya's as well. Reaction press on everything, and I don't get that from Vampire. I don't get it. He has his Zhonya's. You are not killing him in that window of time. That feels like desperation at that point. A lot of the rest of the game for Vampire was completely fine. That one felt very, very opportunistic, though. 369 comes out to clean up some extra stuff. And now the next fight. I want to see whether we get 369 just completely full sending it with flash and everything. Vampire discovers what happens when you play Pyke beyond 20 minutes yet again, and dies. The bold pick of the Pyke, really sadly, then unbolded and put into italics for the obituary. Tianjin going to be focused down just a little bit more, and the damage to this tower is going to be quite nasty as well. 369 does have flash, does have ultimate, and will be forced back, and sadly can't use his GA in the best way possible. Will teleport, well, he doesn't have teleport now, but he'll be back onto the map all the same very soon after that point. Ult comes through from Karis. Yeah, that's a big tool to be using, because suddenly now you don't have to get on top of Smolder, who has 2.5 items. Very, very powerful. Ult comes through from Ziggs, and does get damage onto Jackalove, who doesn't have aggro, so won't be finished off for the kill. Ult comes through from Cream, and there's an execute there, so it's not normally been known to be good for Sejuani's, as Cube also takes a bunch of damage. Will, however, survive this play and take down a bunch of kills. However, they're not really kills. They're kind of like an IOU instead. Everyone uses their GAs. They get themselves a free reset instead, and they go back, only giving up a little bit of XP and gold for the trouble of it. Three items hit for the carriers of top esports. The rapid fire cannon for Cream makes things even more high ordnance for the side of them. No GAs this time, but that Baron goes down so quickly when you get yourself a Zyra, and turns out everyone's squishy goes down pretty quickly when you've got this kind of a gold lead and damage and item advantage into the late game as well. Baron kill. Waves kind of coming through as well. Kanavi going to dodge out on that skill shot. Thank God for that, because he probably would have died otherwise. Vampire not able to find anything. And you can see the lack of options. This is why we were calling it all the way out from that early game. You and I, chat, we got onto that pretty easily. The support ball being pinched earlier into that draft really felt like a mistake from Team WE. A mistake in the fearless mode. Top Esports locked in that Rel. Would have been awesome to see that on 3 from WE instead. Punished for the opportunity. And Top East will also be marching down the mid lane. It's an ult coming through from Citrani. Might be one kill coming through, and sadly not even that. Chris gets out with a bit of tenacity and a flash involved too. Smolder pushing out that top side, has himself a level 16 ultimate. Karis will ult him all the same. Tianzhen does not have himself flash or ult. Cream doesn't have himself a flash and an ult, and uses both of them. Now Tianzhen is too deep. Some 41 told us a fine song about that one, but this one feels more like a funeral dirge instead. 369 gets out of the play. Tower goes down. No one dead for Top Esports. Tianzhen died for the opportunity as well. Inhib down. Baron buff still there for another 2 minutes. 369 can teleport onto a minion or whatever else is aggro by the turret, really. Potentially look for an ending to this game. Oh, root hits onto Karis. A lot of damage too. Beyond that point, he'll have the defender's advantage. He can go back to that base plate. But is that going to be enough? Well, not enough in time to survive Vampire. Feels like we've got ourselves a real monster hunter department in this one. As the undead is re-deaded. Double stun coming through from 369. Gets himself well into the team fight. Extra kill comes down. No more Ziggs. No more Aatrox after that point. Yes, the Rel dies, but who really cares at this point? Turrets being focused. They ramp up plenty in terms of damage, but they don't really have enough HP for this one. Tianzhen comes back out onto the map and is quickly sent back towards the CPS screen. All the way back to that fountain. Karis can't kill out Kanavi. Top Esports. It really was as easy as surviving that early game and getting themselves into a point in this late game. Vampire gets one kill, but it really is just silver linings, which have been tarnished fairly quickly. Go touch Grace. Top Esports win the series 3-0. Did you like that one? Silver lining, but it's tarnished. But tarnished is Elden Ring, so go touch Grace. I'm clever, folks. Oh, that's our series for today, folks. Oh, man. I need to focus on my voice a lot. This is why I need to get this practice in, man. I haven't used my voice like this in a while. I need to make sure I'm choosing right area of my diaphragm to speak through. That was a solid showing, really solid showing. But also, like WE, I didn't expect them to be competitive. They were more competitive than I thought they would be. So I'm not that displeased with them actually. You're being a dwarf on FF14? Yeah. So, what to do now? Well, I guess we can stick around a little bit for some of this stuff, but then, when is LEC starting? When is LEC starting? A little bit later on. But then, heck, what can I do? I guess I could... I do kind of want to keep... I do want to keep it... take it a little easy. However, one thing I might do later, folks, is... I might watch LEC in a Discord somewhere. I don't think I'm going to live view. I don't think I'm going to do that. Very excited for tomorrow's game, though. I actually haven't checked the schedule. What's on tomorrow? Also, I probably won't be able to... Wait, what time did it end today? So, games today ended at 1 o'clock, and that's with a 3-0 being pretty quick. What time have I got to be in tomorrow? Oh, I actually might be able to. Yeah, I actually might be able... I kind of want to go in a little early. Yeah, I mean, why not, actually? Might help. Yeah, I'll see if I can get, like, a co-caster for tomorrow. Okay, you know, I might be on tomorrow. We'll see. Monday, I think I've got an earlier call time, so I don't think I can. Yeah, no worries, Cynical. No worries. Okay, well, folks who have watched on YouTube, I'm probably going to leave the YouTube stream now because, did I stream all of the LPL matches? No, not all of them. This is my first day back. I was on holidays, my first day back. So what I might do instead, what I have done is I've watched all of them. So I can't really do like a blind VOD review of anything. But yes, for those of you who are watching on YouTube, I am going to be back streaming this stuff. Now, it might not always be me on the channel because I'm not going to be free all of the time, but hopefully I'll make sure I stream all of them. I will try my very best. There are a couple of other... There are going to be a couple of other people doing it as well if I'm not available for all of it, and also burnout and the health of my voice will factor into that as well. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed just kind of being... I've enjoyed being back today, folks. I've enjoyed that. But yeah, let's have a think about what to do. Because we'll watch through the highlights of this, and then we might go do... I could do a VOD review, or I could... Yeah, I could do a tier 1 VOD review, because I haven't done that in a while. Yeah, you know what? Maybe VOD reviewing T1 down 1. because I haven't done a T1 VOD review for a while, and I know a lot of people watch my YouTube for that. Maybe that's what I do. Maybe that's what I do. I looked at the LPL English YouTube channel. Are they connected to me? No, they're not. That's being run by Kelsey Moser and Mazal, and a lot of the NA kind of tier 2 casters. However, I wasn't contacted or asked to be part of that, so I'm doing my own thing. I obviously wish them the best luck. I've got a lot of love for those guys. However, I also wasn't asked to be on it, and I love the LPL, so I'm just doing my own thing. So I'll be doing whatever I can here in the format which I was doing last year, so hopefully that's something which you guys enjoy, which is fairly serious with in-game, but fairly chill with outs, but focusing on, you know, telling the stories and the analytical gameplay of the regions. T1 or Cooks, bro? You know, maybe a bit. Maybe. If you could choose any current LPL player, what would be the worst LPL team possible? Kremlindor, that is a wonderful question. Current LPL player. That's a great question. That is a great question. You know what? That's worth investigating. That's a great question. Holy moly. I can think of something for that. I can definitely think of something for that. Oops. I can do something with that. Dodoko, thanks for the follow, I appreciate it. Sure, it's Vampire. I know there are worse supports than Vampire actually right now. Well, we'll see. Look, we will see. Oh shoot! I get this fine. Oh, this is for damage to towers and stuff like that. Cool. Okay, right. Yeah, we can do that maybe. Nohan? Maybe. Okay, right. We'll wait and see who player of the game is as well. We'll do that. Do I have another one? I need another window capture though. Where is that? Down. Let's have a look at all of the players. LPL split one. Okay, worst player per role. So we're looking for worst player per role. So we're not just off-rolling people into whatever. The window fans, I will resize it. Can't please anyone these days. There you go. Worst player per role. Okay. Worst top laner. Harry's not great. Harry's pretty bad. Nah, the Shy at least has upsides. Sassy is better than I thought he would be. Worst top laner right now is either Cube or Harry. Probably Harry, I think. Jiang's actually alright. I like Jiang. So I think it's probably... sorry, his name's technically Ijin. Oh, my PC is actually struggling a little bit. Harold, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yeah, so I think probably that. Jungler. Junhao's not great. I think it's probably Junhao, isn't it? But also, Beichuan's not looking awesome. Climb's not looking awesome. Heng's also not awesome. I would say probably Junhao. Worst mid laner. Yeah, Tianjin also is pretty rough as well. Yeah. Worst mid laner. Care on a bad game. Haichao has some sides. XQW's okay. Satsab's actually been okay. Well, his Azir was really bad. Saber, probably. We're still playing Zara Jungle. Late into draft, yeah, Harold, yeah. There was a game 3 of the Fearless, so yeah. Hey, Private, gee, good to see you. Good to see you, man. I think probably Junhao Saber. Well, even then, yeah. Stream tomorrow? Yeah, I think I will be. I think I will be streaming tomorrow. I'll see if I can get a guest caster in to help stream stuff. Well, help cast. Worst AD carry? I mean, Xiaoya's not great. I think it's probably Xiaoya. I think Xiaoya and wait, was YCX actually playing? Yeah, these two are probably the worst bot lane. They got absolutely dunked on. And Jekyll played much. Yeah, he was really good. Yeah, I think I'm back streaming now, folks. I think I'm back streaming. I'll try and stream as much as I can. Okay, folks. Aren't I on LEC today? I'm not on LEC today. I'm on tomorrow and the day after. So I'm on day 2 and 3. Okay, folks. If you watch me on YouTube, I'm going to say goodbye to you now. So I can, but I will be back tomorrow. And I'll also be uploading a VOD review of T1 Down 1, I guess, later.